Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? Y'all know what it is, man. This your boy Tank be chopping, and we back with another haircut tutorial. All right, guys, jumping straight into this haircut. What we're doing here is we're taking my 1.5 guard and we're debulking the sides. So what we're gonna be doing is like a burst fade mullet type deal. So I'm taking my 1.5 guard on my JRL Onyx clipper, and what I'm doing is debulking the sides, blending into those curls a little bit, but I don't want to take too much of them curls off, so I'm just flicking my clipper up and away to help give me some type of foundation of what I'm going to be doing on this haircut. And if you are interested, I am using the JRL Onyx clipper. You can go to fwbarbersupply.com and use my discount code TANK10. Save yourself some money on this clipper. But now that that is done, I'm taking my JRL Onyx trimmer, setting in my initial bald guideline. And like I said earlier in the video, guys, we are doing somewhat of a burst, but he doesn't like his burst too high or too far back behind the ear. So we're not taking it off. We're not taking too much hair off behind the ear, just slightly coming behind the ear. And then I'm gonna go ahead and line him up behind the ear with my trimmer. Since I already have the trimmers in my hand, I've noticed for me, it helps me move more efficiently. It helps me see the cut better. And I just think it's a good technique to use if you don't want to keep switching between your clipper and your trimmers, going back and forth and whatnot. So I think, you know, sitting in this line once you have the trimmers in your hand, I think that's something that it's a good idea to do if you want to move a little more quicker. So now that we got that done, I'm taking my Instinct shaver and I'm knocking all this hair down to that shaver length. Closer I get to that line, I'm making sure that I flick out that shaver. And now we're gonna go ahead and start blending a little bit. This is my 1.5 guard. Still, I decided to raise this weight line a little bit because I really didn't give myself enough room to work, right? So I needed to raise that line up a little bit just so I can give myself a little more room to work. And now what I'm gonna be doing here is I'm doing clipper over comb to blend in that 1.5 guard into the bulk. So like I said, we don't wanna take off too much bulk. We have to take off a little bit because we have to blend it, but at the same time, I don't want to take off too much. So I'm angling as y'all can see, I'm angling my comb. You know, it's angled pretty good. And what's the word I'm looking for? I'm like fading the hair. Like obviously, of course, we're fading, right? But I'm not coming across, like a lot of times people, when they do clipper over comb, they come across. As y'all can see here, I'm going up, and that helps me just soften the line, and it doesn't leave the fade looking too blunt, you know what I'm saying? So I've noticed when I do this technique, when I use clipper over comb, it blends the line away slower, but it gives a better look, at least for me when I'm doing it. Now I'm going with my clipper all the way open. I'm gonna set in my next guideline, still following that same shape that we created with the 1.5 guard and with the trimmer. And we're coming up about a little, about half an inch or so, not too high because we don't have a lot of room to work with. Now I'm taking my 1 guard lever open and I'm doing the same exact thing, coming up another section about a finger's width, give or take, and we're flicking into that 1.5 guard that we did. And as you can see, there is some discrepancies already. I do have a line at the top of the blend and in the middle, but as you saw me do there, I started to close my lever because I'm gonna start taking out this middle line right here. Now that that is done, I moved back into my 1.5 guard. I'm lying, this is actually my 2 guard. And what I'm doing here is I'm blending a little bit more into that bulk. Not too much, but I'm blending a little bit more into that bulk because obviously the clipper over comb didn't work 100% like I needed it to. So I decided to take my number 2 guard and blend into some more of that bulk. Now this is probably my 2nd or 3rd time cutting his hair. So I really wasn't too familiar with his hair, but I kind of knew what it was. He used to go to another barber in the shop. So I kind of knew what he got, right? So anyways, now I'm taking my number 4 guard. And as y'all can see, I'm floating my clipper. And the reason for this is, once again, I'm not trying to take off too much length, but I'm trying to get this blend to look a little more faded. So then I decided to go with the grain, and going with the grain on this hair texture, it's gonna really just take off the part of the hair that's sticking out. So that's basically what I did. I took off that little bit of hair, and now I'm trying to blend some more of this bulk into the side, into the little burst that we're doing. And as you can see, I'm just going over with that 4 guard a good amount of times, making sure that I have that nice and clean. That way I can see more of what's going on. Here is my 3 guard now, and I'm basically gonna be doing some down fading now. So I'm fading down into that number 2 that I did earlier. So I did my 4 guard. Now here is my 3 guard, and as you can see, the blend, it's becoming more blended. It's still not 100%, but it is becoming more blended, and that's what we're looking for. And so now I moved on to my 2 guard, lever open and then close, adjusting that lever as needed. trying to get this part of the blend to look right. And then here is my 1.5 guard, lever open. So basically what I'm doing here is, I guess you can call it sandwiching the blend, because you know I did blend up to that 1.5 guard and then I started to blend down. So as you can see, this blend is looking a lot better now. Now there is still some discrepancies in there, but that's why I am adjusting my lever, as y'all can see here. Open and then close, using some freehand flow in that clipper, just doing what I feel is necessary to get this, you know, to get this blend to look right. And then now I'm reverting down to my half guard lever open. And I'm just gonna be adjusting my lever close however I feel is needed. You know, like I may close it 1 notch, maybe 2 notch, maybe open it all the way. Just doing what I feel is needed to detail this middle part of the blend where there are some faint lines. Want to make sure I get those nice and, you know, nice and buffed out. So you're gonna have to do some lever play in that part of the blend. Now I'm gonna start attacking this bottom line. So I'm going in with my clipper halfway open, and then I'm doing some lever play, closing my lever little by little, working my way down. And as you can see, that blend is looking better. So I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and line him up before I keep working on this blend. Let me line him up so I can see kind of what's going on. He does like the hair lined up underneath. So I picked the hair up, clipped the hair up with a clip, and now I'm just giving him a lineup in the front, starting off in the middle of my client's head and then working my way over to that vertical bar. We're gonna hit that vertical bar and then we're gonna attack that C cup. Now, doing vertical bars with long hair is kind of difficult. You know, a lot of the hair wants to hang over, and you want to make sure you don't cut too much of that hair off, because then the hair is going to lay awkwardly in the front. So I try not to cut too much. I just try to cut what is needed. And sometimes it's hard to tell what is needed. You just really have to make an executive decision and use your barber's eye to see what do you need to cut off, right? So once that was done, we moved to the C cup, and as you can see, we're leaving a nice curve just to help give that blend some more shape. And then going to some detail work. Now what I'm doing is I'm using my blending shears over comb. So I do this when I have longer hair. I've been doing it a little more now. I just feel that it helps soften up some of these weight lines. As you can see, there are some weight lines there that I want to make sure that I clear out. So I'm using my blending shears to help clear them out. But I don't know if y'all can really see it from this angle and this part of the video, but I'm not taking off a lot of hair. I'm not just going in and just bashing at the hair, right? Like I'm really just taking off a little bit of the ends just to help the hair lay right and to help clean up that blend. And we're gonna do this a couple times to make sure that looked right. And then we're moving on to the opposite side and we're doing the same exact steps. So the same exact steps I did on the left side, we're gonna do on the right side. So I debulked with my with my 1.5 guard. I'm gonna go ahead and set in my line behind the ear, bottom out, set in the initial guideline. And then once this is done, we're gonna follow this up with the shaver. And this is the Instinct shaver. Once again, guys, if you are interested in any of these tools, you can go to fwbarbersupply.com and use my discount code TANK10. That way you can save yourself some money. I don't have a discount code for JRL. However, I do have a discount code for Stylecraft. So you can also go to stylecraftus.com and use my discount code TANK10 there also. You know, whatever is more convenient for you, you know, do what works for you, right? But going back into this haircut, as you can see, we debulked the sides, clipper over combed it, and now we're moving on to our blending work. I went in with my clipper open, set in my guideline, 1 guard lever open, set in my guideline, 1.5 guard going in, and I'm just trying to clean up all this blend. And as you can see here, once again, I'm coming down with the grain to help debulk some of that hair, some of that weight line. And now I'm going in with my 4 guard against the grain to try to blend all this together, and then I'm gonna work my way back down. So that was my 4, this is my 3, and as you can see, I had to double check because sometimes I'll be forgetting what I'm doing mid-haircut because I'm talking, or I'm just, you know, not that I forget, but you know, sometimes you get on autopilot and you kind of just go with the flow, right? So I had to make sure that I was doing the right steps, because I was like, oh, I'm recording, let me make sure I'm doing this in the right steps that I want to be recorded for. That way the people on YouTube can watch this and know exactly what I'm doing. But now I'm going in with my half guard, as you can see here, corner blending, detail work, you know, all that good stuff, trying to make sure that we polish this blend, make it look nice and buttery before we move on to the lineup. And even sometimes when the fade isn't done, I move on to the lineup because I don't like to spend too much time on one part of the blend, right? Like sometimes our eyes start to play tricks on us. So if you ever catch yourself working on one part of the blend too much, just move on. You know, move on to the opposite side of the hair, move on to the back, do the lineup, and then come back and look at that. Because sometimes a fresh pair of eyes will help you see that blend and help you see how it's looking a little better. And you can actually, you know, you'll be able to dictate what needs to be done. Do I need to go on my clipper? Do I need to use my trimmer? Do I need to open my lever 1 or 2 notches? You know, sometimes, like I said, using a fresh pair of eyes will help you, and the mirrors will help you also. But sometimes if they don't, you're gonna have to move on and then come back to it, right? But now that we got that side of the haircut done, I'm gonna go ahead and line him up. Once again, we clipped up his hair because he likes his lineup lined up underneath the hair. So we clipped it up, gave him a quick little lineup, as you can see here. And just so y'all know, we did not add any enhancements on this cut. We're just gonna leave it lined up and natural. So now I'm going in with my blending shear over comb. Like I told y'all earlier, you know, I like to use this when I have a lot of hair, and it helps me blend it a little better, you know, so that's why I do that. But now we're moving on to the razor work, and now this is the finishing touches on the haircut. Right now we're just using that razor to get these lines to look super sharp and help this haircut pop a little more. You know, that way the client likes it, and it helps the haircut last a little longer, right? So now we're going over the front lineup, and that's basically it for this haircut, guys. So check it out, man. This is the finished product. This is a burst fade, you know, slash mullet, slash hot taper. I don't know, whatever y'all want to call it. But yeah, man, y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. Remember, guys, if you're in the Houston, Texas area and want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tangbychopping.com. You can book there. If you want any discount on tools, you can go to fwbarbersupply.com and use my discount code TANK10. I appreciate y'all, YouTube. That's basically it for this video. I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, let's go. You.